So today I want to introduce you to a couple of industry experts from our partners. First is Rahul Joshi, who's a VP and Global Head of Identity Access Management for New Summit, and Ritesh Keshri, who is a Senior Director of Agentic Orchestration and Integration. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to keep everybody on time for lunch, so sorry for the short introductions. They have great stories, so you can catch up with them at the booths. Our theme for today is very simple: AI and disruption that's caused, right? So we probably all heard, we had a couple of horror stories already about the AI, and one of the key things that I think Rahul, of course, New Summit is very special in cybersecurity, right? And you are talking to CISOs literally every week. How did AI change this conversation?
Yeah, first of all, privileged to be here, and joining Kristian and Ritesh for this panel discussion. I'll start with a lighter note. AI disruption is a bit like a teenage parenting. It learns fast. You will see surprises every day. Some interesting, and so with that lighter note, I think the real AI disruption is not the technology itself. It's basically how we, the enterprises, the customers, adapting the AI, more in a strategic way, ensuring while the fast-paced AI is evolving, it's also bringing a lot of new risks in the environments, right? And how we balance out the adoption plus mitigating the risk is something very important for every the CIOs, CISOs, right? And the other thing which I personally see as living in this evolving the AI world is we are moving from more of rule-based automations to a more scalable and adaptable automations through AI. What does it mean is with this evolving technologies, right, through the AI, identity becomes not only for managing as a first parameter, not only for the human, but also becoming very important for the non-human IDs, right? So keeping in that mind, the organizations tends to fail to keep adopting AI, but not looking into how they are solving the risk, right? Having said that, there is a growing asymmetry. We see the attackers, they are operationalizing the AI more faster. Then, we are adapting more defensively. So finally, I would say that, balancing the adoption plus securing the adoption of the AI is very important.
Great.
Over to you.
Yeah. So, Ritesh, when you're advising customers kind of overall transformation, right, and we're talking about their readiness, secure posture for agentic AI, where do you see the gaps? Because I'm sure, on a board level and CEO level, they think they're secure, but, what is the reality?
I think I would agree with what Rahul was saying, that asymmetry that he has been talking about, that is real. Governance, especially the AI governance, that is very strong on papers and presentations, but if you really look at the reality of it, it's still very aspirational. Mm-hmm. When talking to, say, leaderships and members of the board, they want and they believe that the AI infrastructure or the AI landscape that they have today, it's pretty secure, pretty governed, right? But in silos and shadows everywhere, you will see that every other human agent is trying to build another agent, right? We were talking today morning about how use tokens or you lose your job, right? So that's where everyone is trying to build an agent of their own. But what is happening is this is all, in many cases, outside of the IT oversight. Let me take an example, say some 10, 20 years ago, when we wanted to represent our tabular data, right? Spreadsheets were born, We started using tabular data there. But as we matured, what happened was the data, we were able to calculate, put calculations over that data. We were able to put beautiful graphical representations out of that data. 20 years down, when we look today, many of the industries, especially, I would say, oil and gas, they are using it to run their end-to-end complex business process. They have built complex macros behind it. Now, when I talk Excel sheets, it's good because you have some data that is not in good format, it's in bad shape, you mess up one bad report. But think about that in an AI landscape. You mess up one single AI, which is a decision maker, one single AI agent which can take decisions for you. You are creating a chaos at much larger scale, at much faster speed. So when my IT team or the people I talk to, when their IT team tells me that I think I know what is happening in my landscape, I understand that think is still taking that, very heavy weightlifting is done by the word think. That's important to understand there, yeah.
Great. So Rahul, you mentioned identity, right? And I mean, we just figure out more or less, right, how to identify humans, right? How to do multi-factor authentication, all kinds of things. And even there's many challenges, right? And now we're going to have thousands, 10,000s, millions agents with identity, some connected to humans, some connected to other agents, to spawning other agents. So what is the strategy? How can we really get a hold of and how important is agentic identity?
No, absolutely, great question. And I agree with Ritesh, the great examples, Ritesh. So when we think about, the identities, which is mainly a non-human in nature for agents, to run in an organization. So I basically, bring the same fundamentals, which we use for human identities, right? So what are like the fundamentals, we should be putting as part of the strategy is, first is, for all agents we implement in our environment, right? We need to keep identity as the first parameter, right? Definitely not, keeping it aside, right? So what I mean to say is, like, when I say identity becomes a first parameter for the agent is, like a classic example, like, how we implement a role-based access, right? Like I'll give an example of a financial services, right? A bank, right? We see a various job family like tellers, cashiers, right? I think the agents will also behave like a very similar way, right? So not just like implementing the traditional RBAC, right? But we have to look at like how we fine-grain the rules for agents, how we ensure like there's enough context-based, authorization being implemented, right? Which helps the senior organizations leaders to know, like, when agent is acting, why it is acting, what is the purpose for the agent is acting. It's very important to learn that in a very early stage of implementing AI. The second aspect from the strategy is, which is my favorite actually, like we as a manager, how we measure the performance of our individuals, right? So I always, talk about KPIs, right? So in this evolving world, we need to really look at the strategy, what KPIs we have to, put in place for the agents. For an example, like, if we are, like, you just give an example of, Excel-based some operations process, right? Now, imagine if an agent is doing that work, right? So what technical plus the non-technical KPIs, which will help, right, to the CISOs to understand, like, are those, the agents are performing as we expected, or there are threats there, or there are loopholes there, and how we can, fine-tune that agent. So that's some of the strategy I would definitely look for.
Great. I think you just even talking about the KPIs, OKRs, organization, this leads to this next topic. And Ritesh, so what's the hardest part to deploy of this aspect? Is it really technology or is it people organizational aspect?
Well, I believe technology is not the hardest part today. When you look at platforms like WSO2 providing the identity access management, they are able to manage the identities for humans, non-humans, agents, across the board they can manage those accesses, right? But what is happening is evolution is happening a lot faster than the adoption, right? So when you look at from the operating model perspective, where our customers are using those, The poor security guy who is managing those identity and access managements, for the last 20 years, he has been managing people's access. He has been auditing accesses where humans were involved. Now he's getting, he's asked to manage access for thousands and 10,000s of agents, which are capable of taking decisions, acting, and they are capable of recreating themselves, right? They don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't log off. At least when we slept, we logged off. Our security teams, they were able to see what was not going wrong. But these agents run continuously, right?
Now you gave me an idea. I need to create one agent as a partner leader that just tag every opportunity as a partner opportunities the whole time. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that operating model where we are allowing our teams or automating our teams to be able to manage and monitor and audit continuously, that is very important so that we know who is doing what and why, right? Creating that accountability for those agents, that's very critical. So the hardest part, I believe, is still the operating model on how we are going to monitor and govern and secure those agents, yeah.
So, and this is some of the, I always keep bugging Asanka and Rania this topic about how does the overall IT architecture change with AI, right? In terms of everything, all the system, e-commerce systems, systems of records, of all your productivity systems, and of course, new agentic applications and so on. So when you are working now on the roadmap with the customers, Ritesh, in 26, right? What would be your approach to building the blueprint that's fully agentic enterprise ready?
Correct. So, an organization does not become an agentic organization or enterprise at the flip of a hand or flip of a switch. There is some structured capability building required before you can call yourself an agentic enterprise. So some key things that you have to worry about is you should have a solid platform, right? Platform on which you are building your agentic capabilities, which is capable of managing humans, non-humans, agents, and all the other entities that are going to use those AI capabilities, right? On that, your AI agent is as good as the data it gets and the APIs and integrations that are helping transform or create those data, right? If your data is wrong, you're just creating chaos for the AI to just extrapolate it, scale it, and make it even bigger. If your integrations are wrong, you're not creating the right data that will feed into the AI, right? So data and integrations layer, the platform, those are the two most important ones for you. And then you go ahead and create those agents. But what you do with those agents, their identity, their security, that's the third important piece. You need to be aware of what that agent is doing, what that agent is capable of, what it can do. So in order to make that those agents are secure, I think that's the most important piece you have to think about when you are planning about making your entire landscape AI capable.
Great. So yeah, you just mentioned it needs to be secure, but so when an enterprise architect such as Ritesh does this, right? From your perspective, Rahul, where are you looking for the holes?
No, absolutely. When we're looking into any integrations, right? Especially if we're talking about API integration, Ritesh gave an example, right? The security lies between the application which is integrated with the identity platform, right? In our case, like WSO2 IAM solution, right? So if the integrations and where the security, the identity lies between the integrations between the IAM solution and the target, right? If we don't implement enough security controls, right? So for example, NIST provides enough security controls, right? Which we should not be sidelined. We should be really serious about, looking into those controls, right? How we are governing the APIs is another important thing, or I would say another aspect of it, right? When I say governing API is, in general world, right? We tend to certify human IDs, right? Imagine if an agent which is supposed to act for a purpose, and if agent is not behaving for the purpose it's meant to be, right? It will disrupt the environment, right? Mm-hmm. So implementation of the governance, right, is as important as I said the identity lies between the integration. So when I say governance means we should be validating, I'm not talking about the certification, recertification, but at least we should have enough validation checks to be implemented right from the beginning of the AI adoption so that in a periodic fashion, we're looking at or auditing, we're implementing enough audit trails for the agents so that agents is not behaving very abnormally.
Okay, so every agency have tag with their pictures, and we can
yeah.
go. Okay, great. So we know with velocity of AI, our space is changing so rapidly, right? And typically, with people like you, I would ask you, well, what's going to happen in 3 to 5 years? Well, we don't know. What's going to happen a year from now?
Like I would take this way, right? I think the first point is while we all are living in an AI world, right? What I see a major change is, the whole adoption which is happening, some in silos, right? I would see, like, we start saying, like, it's not one agent is performing the job. We start seeing, like, agents talking to another agents, to complete the factory stage or whatever you call, right?
In my Clobot at home, that's
exactly.
Okay,
yeah. Second thing, I would say, an organization who applies security controls, not just implementing AI, who implement security controls from the beginning, right? I think it's definitely a win factor. So when I say security controls, NIST, ISO 27000, right? Ensuring they are governing AI from the day one, not waiting for, like, bring the nuts and bolts to fix the agent at the later stage, And the third thing, like, in my opinion, like, building AI with a purpose is very important, right? So whatever we will make the agent to learn the data, I think we need to put a right strategy, like, what's the purpose for that agent to make that function? If that, I think the purpose is written correctly, right? I think, the agents will behave as we expected.
Great. Ritesh,
Well,
your prediction?
When we meet maybe 1 year down the line in WSO2Con next year, I think the #1 priority in customers' mind will not be AI. Let that sink in. I know many of us will be thinking, throw this guy out of the room, but the #1 priority in the customer's mind will be ROI. Everyone will be looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not just buying GPUs and spending money,
Everyone will be, all of our customers, they have invested enough in AI. They want to look at outcomes and results now. Now, to look for outcomes and results, what will happen is the agentic enterprise that we are talking about is going to speed up. There will be a lot of agents being built. Agents which are today doing just simple automation tasks, they will be doing context-aware, domain-related, entire end-to-end business processes, right? If they are doing that, you will need controllers who can control those agents. So for agent orchestrations, MCPs, A2As, those will become a big talk of the day. For protocols, AGP, the Agentic Gateway Protocols, Agentic Communications Protocol, all of these will see uptick as we move forward. When at the end of the day, when all of these work together, that is what I'm envisioning for, in the next 1 year or so. We'll be moving away from today, many customers believe they have FOMO, the fear of missing out, is going to change to fear of messing up. They don't want to mess up. That fear is what we'll be solving for.
Awesome. Well, thank you both. And I know agents are famous for never stop working and never needing any lunches. We do. So with that, we off to the lunch break. Thank you.